The Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. How great is this collection? Let's find out. The Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is developed by Digital Eclipse, published by Atari, and obviously Warner Brothers owns the rights to Mortal Kombat. The Mortal Kombat Collection will give you Mortal Kombat the Arcade, Mortal Kombat Sega Genesis, Mortal Kombat Super Nintendo, Mortal Kombat Game Boy, Mortal Kombat Game Gear, Mortal Kombat 2 for Arcade, Mortal Kombat 2 for Sega Genesis, Mortal Kombat 2 for 32X, Mortal Kombat 2 for Super Nintendo, Mortal Kombat 2 for Game Boy, Mortal Kombat 3 for Arcade, Mortal Kombat 3 for Sega Genesis, Mortal Kombat 3 for Super Nintendo, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 for the Arcade, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 WaveNet Edition, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 for Super Nintendo, Mortal Kombat Trilogy for PS1, Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat 4 for Arcade, Mortal Kombat Special Forces for PS1, Mortal Kombat Advance for Game Boy Advance, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance for Game Boy Advance, and Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition for Game Boy Advance. So right off the bat, it's a pretty solid collection. It's a huge lineup of Mortal Kombat games from back in the day. But you do get an extra little bit more features in this collection as well. You get a mode called The Crypt. And in The Crypt, you get documentary, lore, combatants, and a music player if you want to ever listen to that awesome music from Mortal Kombat. Man, I always love the Mortal Kombat music. It's something you can just rock out to whenever. And if you want to relax, chill out after a jam of Mortal Kombat music, go look at the documentary and see some behind-the-scenes things. The documentary gives you a lot of things you can look at, from Prepare Yourself, Mortal Mania, Test Your Might, Knowledge and Power, and Immortality. Each one goes over a series of documentaries throughout the making of the games.
So when Street Fighter 2 came out, I wasn't really too impressed by it. I think I finished it once, picked Zangief because I was a wrestling fan, and then kind of moved on. I eventually kind of fell in with a crowd that really got a lot out of Street Fighter 2, and so suddenly it became very apparent I need to get great at that game.
You know, it's really cool to see because like a lot of love was put into this collection, and it really shows that. And I mean, you know, collections should really, if someone is doing a collection, you know, you definitely want love put into it. Because games, you know, the games that are on these, you know, maybe not all of them, but like most of them, you know, it helped define a generation. You know, Mortal Kombat 2 alone and Mortal Kombat 1 broke records. I mean, Mortal Kombat was your gory arcade fighting game, for example. And then Street Fighter was like more of your kind of like fast-paced, classic 2D fighter game. But Mortal Kombat, nah, man, this series leveled it up. It went into gore, blood, violence, and everyone loved it. Everybody craved it. Everybody was just screaming Mortal Kombat. You know, it was a time to be alive. I didn't even get to experience it. I was 96, but I did get to play. I did get to play some of them. But you know, again, a lot of love was put into this, and it really shows. And I mean, a lot of people might even look over the documentary stuff, but someone like me who loves, you know, video game nostalgia, video game knowledge, it's such a cool piece of history to look back on and go over. And that if you want to get some lore of the game when it comes to the in-game universe, Lore will give you just that. It'll go over the ancient past, the Earthrealm tournament, the Outworld tournament, the invasion of Earthrealm, and Shinnok's Revenge. And I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. And then if you just want like a, quick description of each character, just to kind of learn a little bit more about them, you can go to Combatants and it'll give you that. It'll give you each description for each of the characters throughout the games in this collection. And then for a little bit extra fun, you can go to Combat Card, and this will show your in-game stats. So it'll show your most played games, your most played characters from throughout the series, and your favorite stages. You get to see your online wins, online losses, and offline wins. And of course your time played. A little cool feature I like too for this game is when you click on, say, Mortal Kombat for the arcade, and you go down to flyers. This is the not the in-game poster. These are the promotional posters that you would have saw back up around the arcades back in the day. And then if you click on, say, Mortal Kombat for Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo, you will see the instruction manual. And I know it's only instruction manuals, but it's such a big part of physical collecting too. Like especially if you're collecting from like, for Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo, you want that instruction manual because it's not just an instruction manual like to show over the controls and all that. No, like it shows some concept art, some little fun, comic strip in there, and that's what it was like. A lot of love was put into those things back in the day. And I mean nowadays it's just nothing, like not even a little snippet. I mean, you even have these clips for Switch games and nothing really gets put in here. And I'm not gonna like use that to really diss the this collector. I mean this is like really good value and there's so much put into it, but like a good example, like if there's somebody who was say born 2007 2010, obviously they're not the type of person, they're not the type of kid to have grown up on Mortal Kombat for Genesis back in the day, or Mortal Kombat 2 for Super Nintendo kind of thing. But if they wanted to, see what it was like to have those instruction manuals and to kind of go through them, then it's really nice that it's added into this game as like a little side feature. Oh, and one thing I will say, I'm really like, again, I'm so simple to please. Like I really like this, like the slip art. Slip box, I don't know what it's called. I'm pretty sure it's a slip cover, and I mean most of my Switch games is pretty much just this, but I mean this is my first Switch game I own that has a slip cover, and I thought it was really cool. Now when you click on one of the games, you're not going to get full screen. You can, in settings, you can put it up to full screen, but when you go into the game, you're going to get a very nice borderline, because the games are fit to their original design of what it was like. That way nothing's stretched out or pixelated. It's going to be how it was like back in the day, that perfect aspect ratio for what these games were made for and intended for. But the border lines, they got really creative with these. So for any of the arcade games, you're going to have like that arcade cabinet kind of look. And then for the Game Boy games, you're going to have, the Game Boy games, you're going to have that, that nostalgia Game Boy layout. For Game Gear, same thing. It's a little bit more cut off for Game Gear, but you do have that Game Gear. You do have that Game Gear kind of setup going on. And then if you're playing on Super Nintendo, PS1, Sega Genesis, you're going to get that nice liminal spaces, CRTV vibe going on. And then, of course, for Game Boy Advance, that Game Boy Advance kind of layout. Now for the gameplay, the most important part of this whole review kind of thing. Gameplay was great. I never really had any issues. You're getting that challenging Mortal Kombat grind. Oh my goodness, Solo, I have a guest here with me. Who is this? Come on up. Come on up. Come on. My cat's here and she wants to go. You gotta see her, deal. Come on. Come up. Come say hi. Come say hi to everybody. Come on. Come on. Oh, there you go. Look, she says hello, internet, everybody. Hello. She's so happy. And back to the gameplay. The gameplay was great. I never really had any issues. Everything ran really, really well. Whatever emulation they're using for their compilation, everything worked really well. Never had any issues. I will say the only games I found didn't ran the best, or I found, there was definitely some input lag, would be Mortal Kombat 1 for Game Boy and Mortal Kombat 2 for Game Boy. They were probably my only two issues I really had in all of these games that are on here. Everything else ran really well. I never really had any issues. Everything ran flawlessly. I was getting my butt whooped by like stage one for most of these games. Ironically, the Game Boy game for Mortal Kombat 2 was the only one I got a little bit ahead in. But, it all ran really well. But yeah, this collection, it really captured the essence of Mortal Kombat and then threw in a love letter to it. Mortal Kombat, again, these games, they're going to give you a challenge. It's Mortal Kombat. It is what it is. That's what they're there for. They're meant to take you down. They're meant to bring you down a couple of pegs so they can build you back up, right? But that's Mortal Kombat. And this collection here, fantastic for what it is. Atari Digital Eclipse did a fantastic job with this collection. There's so much love put in here, and I know I keep saying it, but really there's not a lot of collections that do this, and Atari did a fantastic job publishing this game, getting it out there. Digital Eclipse, of course, the ones who made all this possible from behind the scenes with the devs working on this. And like so much went into this game, and I think it's honestly the ultimate Mortal Kombat collection for a lot of those games. So yeah, if you're a hardcore Mortal Kombat fan, this is definitely worth checking out. And even if you're a casual Mortal Kombat fan, or just one who just entered the series and you want to experience those older games, get some lore, see some cool documentaries about what went into making those games, then this is the collection just for you. I highly recommend checking it out. You won't be disappointed. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like it, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what y'all think. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.